hard as these holds and rolls go, because it's always getting used to like, what do I do with my hands, and good communication with you and your partner, and yeah, making sure that head doesn't move. So the idea behind this is someone is laying on their stomach, their head is going to be like shoulder or chin to shoulder, and we're maintaining this position through that whole roll until they're on their back. That's the idea. Once we get them on their back, then we can gently move the head into an anatomical position, but this is what we're trying to maintain. So we're gonna go through it. Patient?
Sure.
Cool. Partner. Okay. Can I get you to put your head the other way? Just for demo purposes? Yeah. So
Always do that with the
I was
What?
You're way more convenient.
Yeah. So the idea behind this is we're going to be rolling him halfway up. My partner's going to take a transition grip so I can rearrange my hands for the remainder of the roll. So if we were to do this right from beginning, let's say I'm down, I'm just holding a basic C-spine. I'm going to give you a transition grip. You got that? Okay. So because we're rolling this way, if we were to roll the other way, I'd be rolling him onto his face, right? So we're going to be rolling him onto his back. So I'm going to take a trap squeeze in this direction. And this hand is coming underneath. I got the head. Just keep in mind, I'm going to be like lifting this guy's head up. It's like a bowling ball, and I have to maintain this position. As we roll, my focus is making sure I maintain, I'm not looking up and talking to people, I'm focused on the head. So we're going to come halfway up, and then, yeah, let's kind of talk through this.
Yeah.
Ready? Okay.
Hold on 1 second.
Do you have a strong Indian on 4?
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Transition.
I forgot.
Okay, so now I'm reversing my transition grip. So I had a left hand, then I'm taking a trap squeeze with my right. I've got head.
Okay, let it go. And I'm set.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now I need to rearrange myself. So I'll need another transition.
Okay, this is what I'm shaking. How do I do this from this position? Just kind of like wherever I can get my hands?
Yeah, so underneath and then sternum.
Okay.
We've got the head.
Hold on. That's better.
Okay. Okay. So I'm getting into a more comfortable position, anchoring. Okay, I've got the head.
Okay, there we go.
And now Strawn's going to give me a midline marker so that I can anatomically, or get into an anatomical position. So if you want to come down, if you can put your hand on his sternum.
Oh, okay.
Just so you can know where midline is. Good. And I'm going to be moving one plane at a time, so really gently. I'm going to be lining up his chin with Strawn's hand, and then I'm coming back down. Great. How does that look?
Yeah.
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 Cool. Nice. So, two very important positions. The head, again, maintaining that shoulder to chin throughout that entire roll. I switched my trap squeeze. So I started with the left, and that halfway mark, I switched to the right, so that his head is always supported by my forearm. The transition grip, you're getting that pretty like close to your patient, almost like you're scooting them away, but you're clamping between both your forearms. So you got a nice strong hold. Like don't be worried about like getting in their bubble. You're gonna be in there. You need to get up and be clamping.
Sort of like trying to line up one forearm with the sternum, the other forearm with the spine, with the hands in position, and squeezing my elbows together to keep it all in the same spot.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Can you do it one more time?
Yeah. Did you want to take the head on this?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll try. Sweet.
I can take the head strong if you want to watch the whole thing.
Yeah. And
So with the patient in this position, and I say to roll this guy. No, look at his arms, right? So you're gonna have to put his arms down by his side. When I do that, I'm making sure I anchor at the top, gently put the arms, and I'm tucking the thumbs underneath so that I don't accidentally break any fingers. Ready?
Ready. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Got that?
Go ahead. Go to my a little bit. Got it. 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
That.
Got him. Rotate, keep the nose pointing up. Make the nose of your hand. And gently pull out. Any pain or resistance, I'll freeze in that position.
Are you applying traction when you're reorienting? Yep.
And so, yeah, like any pain or anything that the patient experiences, we just stop wherever.
Yeah,
you
any
are.
resistance, any crepitus, like kind of bone down, bone grinding, right? Or here.
Yeah.
And it's like a bit of resistance, okay, this and this and the freeze right here.
And
Hopefully
then-
you color on them then?
Right. I was just gonna ask, like in that situation, packaging is different.
Yeah, so you just have to put a collar on.
Right.
We're going to support that as best we can. If we have somebody who can hold that, now we're positive. We know we've got a vertebrae injury.
Right.
So if we have somebody who can just hold that the whole way, we will. Otherwise, we'll support as best we can with blankets.
Yeah.
Padding around so keep the head in that position.
Right.
At any point in this stage regarding the head, let's say you were outside cold ground, would you slip on something underneath just to stop like the head contact for a minute?
Yeah, like the really, really big shoulder. I'm looking at you, right? His head comes all the way back. Like it may like sound a little bit more than it's comfortable. But the flip side of that is it's better to be leaned back a little bit more than it is to be pushed forward too much,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's a big thing. When I was first training, it was always like three planks, 1, 2, and then you want to move it forward and get something under the head till it's in neutral. The problem with that is people were mostly moving it forward too much.
Mm-hmm.
That being laid back a little bit more is going to be better. But just get your partner to look from the side, right? So lay back down again. I can't see if his head's in neutral from here. So the partner, you can take a look from the side, we need to move up a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay? And so maybe you get a SAM splint or a fold triangular bandage and just lift that head a little and slide something in. Okay? Lift it as much as, if you have to do that, lift it as much as you need to put something in. Don't be like pushing against it. I'm going to come up to put something in, no, lower back down again.
When you say 3 planes, you're talking like up and down, left,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
side to side.
exactly. So first I rotated to the nose is pointing up, and then I moved left and right until it's lined up with that, with her hand. And then I'm going to lift if I need to, put something under, and make sure that it's looking nice.
I think of the planes as yes, no, and I don't know.
Yes, no, and what a great day.
I don't know.
Something else to note, so whoever's at the head is in charge of counting down the roll, but who's actually rolling is in charge of the speed. So it's kind of coordination between both of you. It's harder to go slower. It's easier to be a bit faster.
As
Yeah.
far as the
Yeah.
Yeah. This is not something you're going to do all day. Maybe not by the end of the week. It takes time. I promise that by the end of your course, it'll just be like boom, 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 but it's going to feel awkward, and it's going to feel uncoordinated. There's going to be a lot of head travel today. That's okay. There's going to be lots of practice with this over the next week and a half, so don't feel like you need to get this right today. You won't. That's okay.
If you have a third person, you just put them like up.
I don't feel like there's a lot of use for this person's particular role.
Okay.
Like, yeah, this is like the legs will travel. If you have one, sure, you can help out. But
Okay.
like really, this is a 2-person role.
Right.
The legs
Okay.
follow along.
Okay.
Well, with our situation, we could have used an additional person
Yeah, so that's a bit different than having someone to help out. And sometimes when like the mass discrepancy between the responders and the patient just kind of hits like this tipping point, it's just do the best you can. And that might mean actually lifting, because like there are some big patients out there. And it's like, you know what, I would like to prioritize spinal motion restriction on this role, but you know, my patient's 400 pounds. My partner is her, and we're just gonna have to do whatever we can to get
What do you mean by that?
You know what I mean by that.
So using something like the belts, like they were doing for him.
Yeah, belts are great. Belts are great. Yoga pants are the worst.
You actually have to like, I don't know.
Yeah, you really have to get grip, and it's like you're getting pretty intimate here, because the only place to really get a hold is on that iliac crest at the top of the hip. So you're kind of getting your fingers in there for that roll. If patient's conscious, like just let them know, like, hey, I'm just going to be putting my hand on your hip here. You're going to feel me pushing in on the front side of your pelvis before you get in there, because it's not a place where strangers usually just going to walk up and touch.
Or even like a belt hook too, if they're not wearing a belt, it could be like hook our fingers.
Yeah.
One of them too.
Yeah.
Maybe jumping ahead, if someone's got a pelvic instability and they're prone.
Yeah, so it depends on who you've got and where you're at with your call.
Okay.
So if you come and you're checking ABCs and your patient's breathing is ineffective, or you can't really assess it properly, we're not concerned about spinal or pelvis. But let's do a quick spinal anyway, right? It's like that's why you come in. So if your patient is responsive, where's it your partner be as you walk in? At the head, right? That's your pregame. What's my condition patient? Their eyes are closed and not tracking. Partner, get to the head. So that could be for area management, but also to get ready to do a quick spinal roll, because everyone's ready and you're not going to be delaying it. However, if they are breathing, their breathing is effective, they do have a pulse, you get through your RBS and you find that there's a risk or a confirmed pelvic injury, you've got extra hands, put them on the pelvis for that role. That'd be a better place for that third person than kind of managing the legs. You've got to like stabilizing, trying to pull that pelvis.
So the idea being you would still move fast because it's pelvis, but you would still take the time to do the roll properly.
Yeah, exactly. So the kind of the two places you're going to do this roll are either going to be during your ABCs or at the end of your ABCs, because you realize that the breathing is ineffective, or after your RBS when you kind of know what you're dealing with. So here's the situation. Your patient is laying on the ground, head coming this way, so you're going to roll toward the back. But what if you find like a broken femur on the side you're going to be rolling toward? Well, maybe we're going to do an awkward roll with the face pointing down in that situation. I don't want to, but it's better than rolling onto an unstable femur, right? So, like all of this stuff are tools in your toolbox. You should feel, number one, by the end of the week, comfortable enough that you can do them like relatively well and relatively smoothly. But number two, how are we going to modify this if this patient needs it modified? And you should be able to do that. Nothing we teach you, not to undermine everything we're going to teach you, but nothing we teach you is written in stone, right? It's the end goal is proper packaging, proper movement, control the lead, manage the airway, all that stuff.
If somebody had a broken pelvis, the hips and they were laying down, would you still do some roll?
Yeah, you just gotta stable. If you can stabilize, if you can, just do the roll as gently as you can. People have to be on their back. We don't breathe effectively on our front. They have to be either on their back or in recovery position.
And could you get the pelvis ready so when you're rolling, like the rolling?
100%, yeah. Lay it out and just roll right onto that pelvic line.
One of the points when you're going through licensing, if you don't inspect the back, it is a point of failure. You need to inspect the spine. So if someone's on their face, make sure you inspect at that point just so you get the check in the box. Because the more times you roll somebody, the more time you're gonna waste on seeing. So if their back is there, do a quick back inspection. Look, listen, and feel before you roll them if they're unresponsive, so you know what they were at, and when they're over, you do it again to see where they're going. But it's just like a lot of it's just making the best use of your time.
Just one more thing before you guys go to practice on that same topic. If your patient is starting on their back and it's on patient, you still do have to check the back. You don't have to roll them to do that, right? I can check the back by coming in under the hollow of the back, feeling those vertebrae as high as I can, coming in under the shoulders and feeling the vertebrae. So I've got a really wide patient, I may need to roll to get under and check it, but
You have to palpate the vertebrae.
yeah, you have to get in and feel as many of those vertebrae as you can. Making a decision to say, hey, like this is a really unstable multi-trauma patient, I'm not gonna check the back right now, that's fine. Because once they're on that clamshell and you lift them, the clamshell's hollow in the middle and you reach under there as well, right? So rolling is an option to do that if they're starting on the back. You have other options as well, as long as it's somewhere along the lines you're completing that. What I would suggest in that situation as you begin doing scenarios with this, get in the habit of saying it out loud, like what your plan is, not just for licensing, but so that your partners and other responders like scene know that you haven't missed something and don't just try to jump in and take it over and do it for you. It's like, yeah, my patient has fallen off that building, they're laying on their back, I'm gonna come in, you can take my RBS, reaching under things as much as I can, and the rest of it I'm gonna wait until I lift my patient, I'm gonna feel under when they're on the clamshell and check the rest of it then. And just don't forget to do it.
Exception to that though being like, say you reach underneath and you pull out blood.
Yes, yeah,
Then
exactly.
you're gonna have
Then you
to
have to-
roll and inspect to see where that comes from. Or whatever. Yeah.
Go to finals.
Yeah.
It's gonna feel so awkward. It'll
It's
be
like the
fine.
first day of high school.
Now how about
Disconnected.
where's your high school?
Oh.
That's
It
fun.
all
All right,
comes
guys,
together.
break it into groups of 3, go practice those roles.
So awesome.